So, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks to join us after this fast lunch. So I will start asking to Bernardo Saraiva to join me, please, in the stage. Uh,
Thank you.
then, okay, Johan Schiller, please, and Milana, please join us. Okay, so you listen, quick presentation of myself. So WALC, for the people that don't know, means University of Algarve. That's my base, where I came from. And nowadays, I take care of the communication and the marketing of the university, and I take care also of a lot of special projects directly with the rector of the university. But you don't came here to listen me, but just I'm on the dark side because the important people are on my left side, and then I will ask Bernardo and Johan and Milana just to make a quick and fast presentations, okay, of what you do, and to present yourselves, please.
Sure. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I hope the lunch was okay. I think a lot of people are still at lunch, but I'm Bernardo. I'm with the World Talents. I'm the director here in Portugal. What we do, in a nutshell, is trying to bring entrepreneurs, international entrepreneurs, to Portugal, and in this specific case, to Algarve, to the region. A little bit about me. I am originally from Lisbon. I went to study. I was a tennis player. I actually played professionally. I went to study in the US, in San Francisco, and I lived there for 8 years. Worked for a tech company there in San Francisco as well, and then I decided to move back to Portugal because I love this place, and I wanted to obviously settle here. So now I've been here and joining World Talents to try to make, I guess, the ecosystem of the region better and better. So yeah, that's me. Thank you.
Thank you. Jan, please.
Thank you. I'm Johan. I'm from Sweden originally, but I've been here in Portugal for five.
Microphone
No, it's
more
on.
close.
It's on.
Close.
Just put it closer.
Better? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm from Sweden originally, but I've been living here in Portugal for 5 years, and I'm involved in the startup world in a bunch of different ways. I'm a founder of 2 companies, one called Once Upon, which is an app to make photo books, and the second one is Mindforce Game Lab, which is we develop a game to help people with depression when they've just been diagnosed. It's like a digital companion that helps people with depression. I'm also involved in an incubator where we help early stage companies to get started, basically, and scale up.
Hello, everyone. My name is Milana. I'm a serial entrepreneur for 10 years and have already done an exit in 2020. Currently, I am developing a multi-channel product which is called Bairro Direct. What we do, we provide end-to-end solutions for FMCG brands and retailers, optimizing all the supply chain, making it more sustainable and ecological. We raised around 7 million already and are planning to raise more, and working with brands as Mars, Unilever, Macro, all the big brands. So today I would like to tell you more about how we can bring talent in, and you're such a cool crowd and there is such a nice venue. I'm very happy.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can hear so well than me. I missed some parts of the speech because in the stage we don't have the same sound that you have, and I will try to don't say nothing wrong concerning I missed some parts. Okay, but anyway, let's start. Bernardo, World Talent. I know that I have very good projects with some universities in Portugal, even with the University of Algarve, trying to attract high-skilled talents, international, of course, to Algarve and to the university and to Portuguese for our country. So could you explain a bit more what you are doing with the private and the public entities nowadays?
Yeah, of course. So I believe private sector and public sector collaboration it's important when it talks about attracting talent, and that's what we're trying to do a little bit. We are kind of a bridge between international entrepreneurs that want to have global mobility and potentially moving to Portugal and exploring opportunities in Portugal, to the local ecosystem in Portugal. That's why we have the partnerships with the universities. And also like to say thank you for the University of Algarve. That's been our partner for quite a while, and it's been a great relationship with them. And the way we're trying to do it is a win-win situation for both. So it's a win situation for the entrepreneur or the investor, because by coming to Portugal already with the setup of having the whole ecosystem and the key stakeholders in a partnership with us, it facilitates them a lot in the projects they want to develop or they want to invest, or so it's good for them in that sense. It's also good for the university in the sense that we are bringing the highly skilled, even like Timur was saying in the last panel or in the morning. Even last week we had 5 visitors of entrepreneurs, some of them from the US, some of them chairman of a company that is publicly traded in the US. So they bring obviously their resources to the region, which is great for the university, not just in terms of funding or investment, but also in terms of their network, their knowledge, which is big. University is a source of knowledge. So the more knowledge you have, the better. And that's we're trying to do this match between entrepreneurs and their expertise, and then university and the projects. Yeah.
And when you have to present your what you are doing, what do you say about the model of the country, of the universities, of the business ecosystem in Portugal, in Algarve, to make them to believe it's could be a good option?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, you're right. There are some challenges in attracting people to come here. One is global competition, like you mentioned before. It's not just Portugal who are trying to attract entrepreneurs here. There's pretty much every other country does it. The way I think we are trying to differentiate, is through this partnership with the university, because I think it's key. Where by talking to the entrepreneur and being able to, while we are pitching the idea of Algarve, not just the lifestyle, which is great and is a great selling point, we all know that, but we try to also, you have the lifestyle, but you also have this incubator in University of Algarve, where it has a lot of companies that you can potentially invest on, or you have this accelerator in the tech campus, where there's so many projects that you can also be a part of. So kind of sell them a community in the way, which is true, So, and also we take care of obviously all the other challenge they have is when moving abroad. There's a lot of logistics involved. There's a lot of immigration policies, etc., hurdles of cultural differences and so on. Those are all challenges, part of it, and we try to help facilitate everything. One other thing that I would say would be important to help attract new talent is government initiatives to make it more attractive and appealing compared to other countries. This is not, it's a little bit out of our control, but the more initiatives we have, the better.
Portugal have it?
Yeah, there is. And actually, one of the first speeches yesterday was from Helena Costa. And I don't know if she's here or not, but I will be trying to talk with her. She's from the National Innovation Agency, and she was talking about how there is a program called CFeed, which it's a program that will basically, if you want to start a company or a new company, a new startup in Portugal, up until 80% of what you invested will be covered from the government. This is an initiative that could potentially help a lot of entrepreneurs build their companies here. So yeah, those types of initiatives I think are very
well.
important.
Let now, Johan. I think you came from Sweden, but in the past, your professional life was in London. I will ask you to explain us what make you to change to Portugal, to Algarve. I think it's to Algarve where you are based. No. Lisbon, sorry. Okay, Lisbon. It's the same, almost the same. And also, what make you personally when you move it? And nowadays, what you tell to your employees or with your startup to do the same?
Yes. I initially moved to Portugal 5 years ago, as I mentioned. Initially, it was mostly lifestyle. I was in a position where I could do my work from anywhere in the world, and I wanted a place where that I thought would be good for my kids to grow up. We were living in London, and I thought Portugal would be a much better place. So that was the initial reason I moved. Then once I arrived here, I was struck by how many interesting people I met, the energy. A lot of people were moving. A lot of things were happening in the startup world. And while I still have most of my projects in Scandinavia, I now have with the incubator my first project here in Portugal, and I'm hoping to find more projects to support in the incubator. So I think that's very interesting. I think the next step, I think a lot of people are moving for the lifestyle, etc. I think it's also important the quality of the project. We had a speaker earlier talking about the kind of global ambitions. If you really want to attract top talent from abroad, I think it's important that the projects are ambitious, have a global outlook. And I think it's also quite important. I think it was mentioning that the dream target is the 25 to 35-year-olds. At least in my experience, a lot of the 25 to 35-year-olds today are not just focused on a career or compensation, but it's very value-driven, purpose-driven. So I think it's also important that the projects have kind of that purpose, sustainability angles, etc., to attract top talents from abroad.
Well, we're speaking about to attract, but I think the attraction is also connected with the retain, and how I think it's a challenge how to retain the high skilled talents. How you do that in your startup?
Yeah, I mean, not for a country, but speaking specifically for a startup. I have one example. One of the companies that I'm a co-founder of is extremely purpose-driven. As I said, it's very focused on all stakeholders, not just making money for the shareholders, and try to make the world tiny bit a better place. And also trying to create a very kind of flat organization where everyone has a say. And in that company, we have 70 employees. We've been going for 6 years, and I think we had one person resign in 6 years. So it's not easy. It's a lot of hard work to create that type of organization. But when you succeed, it can be very, very powerful for engagement and retention.
Thank you very much. Milana, you told me that you have on the past to create a policy to move to your startup a lot of skilled workers, no, from all over, from.
Well, I think this one is working. Yeah, when we started Bairro in 2020, we were raised a pre-seed of 1.2 million. And as Stefan said, the ambition was to go global since day one. So we wanted to build a very scalable technology who would allow us to go to other countries very easily. And when we looked at the market, who has 10 millions of people living here, we were thinking that we would need to attract talent from abroad of the expertise, so this technological expertise in AI and retail technology that was more developed in other countries as US, Singapore, and some Eastern European countries. For example, only our CTO was the co-founder and built one of the leading food tech companies in Eastern Europe with 10 millions of orders per day, not only We in Portugal have 10 million. So the question was, how can we use Portugal as an attractive country to make these high talented people to come to move with it? And we have a lot of luck because Portugal is an amazing country. So they have this NHR strategy, which worked really well with the 20% discount for people who are coming abroad, who was amazing for people who are not in Portugal living. So we still have a big problem with retaining Portuguese talent, but we can talk about it later. And then Portugal is a country which is strategically connected both to Europe, to Africa, to US. So there's a very high possibilities to scale a startup from Portugal and then go abroad. About retaining Portuguese talent, we have a very big pool of high qualified people in Portugal who are constantly leaving the country. So though we don't have enough strategies as the country to help those people who are getting from universities to come, that's why you have the Googles, the Accentures, like waiting for people from Technico and other big universities of the country to take this talent away. So one of the main things we did as a startup, we actually tried to create a very customer-centric and employer-centric culture, allowing people to focus on their career development, on the learning opportunities, on what do they want to do, how do they want to do things. So the culture was playing a pivotal role in retaining people who we were taking from big corporates who were like 7-10 years at the corporate job roles for years, and they were stuck in development from A to B. So we were like, okay, but what would you like to do? How can we make you and see that working can be different, that you can have a hybrid mode, that you can think about the work-life balance, that we care about your career development, that we care about the education you can learn faster in a startup rather than the corporate. So that was the biggest competition.
Thank you. So, Bernardo, what do you think could be the next steps in this global competition? Because nowadays we have news from different countries in Europe. They're trying to make the same, and so there's no news in this competition. So we can't undercover our secrets, how the Algarve is presented like the most famous secret in the world. So how we can, what is your perspective about the future in this, if you can do it?
Yeah, I wish I had a crystal ball, but I'm very positive on the outlook of Portugal in general and the region of Algarve. I think events like this show how and working with the community here in Algarve, especially with the university, I've met really amazing people and very hardworking that actually want to really make it work. So I do see a positive outlook for Algarve. Not just, we all know that the tourism industry is always going to be the biggest and part of the factor that people come here is for the lifestyle and so on. But for what I'm seeing of working with the university and working with the project and the entrepreneurs that come here, I see that there's a big traction for sure, and I hope in 5 years it becomes even bigger. And again, it comes down to the ecosystem, right? To attract and also to retain. Also, in the topic of retaining, I really like what Johan said about having quality projects and projects that are aligned with the new generation that wants more sustainable ideas, more sustainable projects. I also think for entrepreneurs that come here, maybe they came for one project, but it's important to have ongoing opportunities to make them stay. You want to be in a place where you can grow, where you can have more opportunities. You don't want to be just in a place that it feels stagnant in a way. So yeah, I think that's important. That will come from the ecosystem in Algarve and the growth of it, yeah, which I hope it's going to be flourishing.
Johan and Milana, I will ask you the same. What do you think could be the next year's?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what Bernardo said. I think people are already coming here. The lifestyle, it's relatively affordable compared to other cities. So I think Portugal has a great opportunity. I think partly what is lacking a little bit is that a lot of people are coming here are still working on things abroad. and we need more projects here. I think it was mentioned in another panel that it also takes time. You need some early successes, and you need those founders to then reinvest into young talent. You see that in Stockholm, for example, where we had Spotify and Candy Crush and big companies, and those entrepreneurs are now investing in young talent. I don't think we really see that here yet, but I think it will come, and I think that's an important part too.
Well, one thing that we're observing is that there are much more startups happening and opening, and a lot of unicorns coming to Portugal and establishing offices here. All this is creating opportunities for young people to cater to actually interesting opportunities, which allow us expertise growth and fairful salaries for the knowledge that they have. And the other thing is the work with the local governments. It's really important that we have the support of CFIT funds, for example, happening, that the governments, like local municipalities like Câmara de Lisboa, Câmara de Mafra, were actually interested in bringing and fostering innovation across the people, across the communities, and explaining to people why should they not fear the risk of failure. Why should we support the young people? Why should we build technology for good? Like how this can impact the life of those societies that we actually serve. So in this case, just to let you know, last year we won the prize of Lisbon as capital of innovation in Europe. Me and President Carlos Moedas, because there was made so much initiatives with the local schools, with local universities, with the Unicorn Factory Lisbon that were actually putting Portugal on the map. And I'm talking about Lisbon, but the same can be done to Braga, can be done to Leiria, can be done to Mafra, can be done to Algarve. So the possibilities are numerous. We just need to have people who want to build things, who want to execute things, have the spirit of innovation, and are not afraid of risk of failure. So I believe if we all together create this movement into, we believe that Portugal has all the potential, the talent, the funding will come, the talent will come, good services will appear, and it's actually a desire, and we are an ocean of opportunities here to build. So I'm very, very supportive and hopeful of a good future for us.
Yeah, very well. I think we have more 2 minutes, and maybe we can ask the audience if they have some question to no.
Continue.
Okay, so
Final thoughts.
well, just to I think you did, just to make a brief resume. If you think in a campaign to promote Algarve as a place for high-skilled talent, what you present as the most positive reasons to your clients, to your workers?
Yeah, as I said, for me, I try to focus on the relationship with the university, 100%, because most of the program participants that we have, or international entrepreneurs, they kind of already know that Portugal is a nice place to live, or the lifestyle is good, or Algarve is good. So I try to focus on, okay, it's not just this, is much more. There's a whole ecosystem that is being built, and I think that's important because, yeah, it's much more diverse than just being on the beach, although we are on the beach and it's beautiful. So, and I'd like to say final thoughts. Thank you so much for having us, and a special thanks to the University of Algarve as well. And thank you guys for being part of this with me as well.
Thank you. Johan, please.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I agree with Bernardo said. I think that it's already, people are moving here for the lifestyle and they have projects abroad. That's already happening. I think some should also try to offer something to actually come here and start your company here. It could be incentive, it could be free office spaces, could be some grants, could be other things. Maybe some of it is happening already. But I think a very strong program on actually attracting people to start the companies here is important, so that you don't have only people that are here for lifestyle and work on projects abroad.
Yeah, absolutely. Resources like office spaces, and we have to understand that the product tech companies, employees are looking for life balance, life work balance. They want a good quality of life, which Algarve can provide. And there is also this feeling of communities between the universities, between the local innovation governments, between the local entrepreneurs, local investors, because everything starts from the right communities. And everyone will be interconnected and will have a social network and social support. I believe that Algarve has all the chances to also be positioned as an innovation hub.
Thank you very much. So, thanks to join us. And we know that Algarve is much more than a lifestyle, nice spot. So, thank you very much to join us and keep with this great event.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.